You know, there are some people in Hollywood you just can't help but love. And Keanu Reeves is pretty much at the top of that list. He's this incredible action hero, a cultural icon, but behind that calm, stoic face is a story of almost unimaginable pain.
And that's really the big question, isn't it? We see these stories go viral about his kindness, we call him the internet's boyfriend, and yet the image that really sticks is this solitary kind of melancholic guy. So what's the deal? Let's dive in and figure it out.
I mean, the contrast is just so stark. On one side, you've got the icon, Neo, John Wick, the breathtaking movie star we all know. And then on the other side, you have the enigma, the guy from the sad Keanu meme who just completely shuns the spotlight and seems to be carrying this heavy weight. This is the paradox we're going to unpack. So to really understand the man he is today, we have to go back, way back. Because for Keanu, the beginning was filled with so much instability, and that's really where the seeds of loneliness were planted, long before he ever became famous.
Just look at this. The challenges were relentless. His dad left when he was only 3 years old. He grew up in some rough parts of Toronto, constantly moving around with 4 different stepfathers. School was a total nightmare for him. He had severe dyslexia, and teachers would actually call him stupid. He even sharpened ice skates at a local rink to help his family out. Is it any wonder he dropped out of high school at just 17?
And this quote from the man himself, it just says it all. This wasn't just some teenage thing. It was this really deep feeling of not belonging, forged by a childhood of just constant chaos and rejection. And that feeling, well, it would go on to shape the rest of his life. And get this, his resilience was tested long before the big tragedies we all know about. He got into motorcycles, probably as an escape from his youth, and had this crash that nearly killed him. It actually broke his spine. Doctors told him he'd be paralyzed, that he'd never walk again. But he fought back and proved them all wrong.
So as he makes it in Hollywood, you'd think, okay, finally, a break, a way out. But for Keanu, fame actually came with an even heavier price, a much more public kind of tragedy.
This timeline, it's just brutal to even look at. The losses came one after another, just piling on top of each other. In '93, his best friend, River Phoenix, dies suddenly. Then in 1999, probably the most devastating loss a person could endure, his daughter, Ava, was stillborn. And just 2 years after that, his former partner, Jennifer Syme, Ava's mother, was killed in a car crash. It's just staggering.
The impact of all this was just profound. He was a pallbearer at Jennifer's funeral, carrying her casket, an incredibly private moment of grief that was broadcast all over the world. These losses, they pushed him into seclusion for years while he tried to deal with a level of pain that fame just seemed to make worse. But here's where the story takes a really powerful turn. All of this immense suffering didn't break him. In fact, it seems to have forged this extraordinary capacity for empathy and kindness. It's like his pain is directly connected to his legendary generosity. And you know, while all this other tragedy was unfolding, his sister Kim was fighting her own long, hard battle with leukemia. This deeply personal struggle became the quiet motivation behind so much of his philanthropy. It gave him a mission that had absolutely nothing to do with being a movie star. And his giving is just on another level. He's reportedly donated over $100 million to children's hospitals and cancer research. He even secretly started his own private cancer foundation and ran it for years without putting his name on it. Think about that. He wants the focus to be on helping people, not on him. Just look at this number, $75 million. That's roughly how much he gave away from his own earnings on the Matrix sequels. We're talking 70% of his paycheck, and he gave it directly to the visual effects and stunt crews, the people he called the real heroes of the movies. And it wasn't just about the money. He also bought every single member of the Matrix stunt team their own brand new Harley-Davidson motorcycle. It was this amazing gesture of real appreciation, of recognizing their hard work, from a guy who knows what it's like to struggle. Okay, so let's bring this all together. How does all this past experience, the trauma, the incredible loss, the quiet generosity, how does it explain the Keanu Reeves we see today? Let's look at the man behind the myth. Right. This photo, I'm sure you remember it. Sad Keanu. It went absolutely viral in 2010 and became this huge meme, a symbol of loneliness.
But what the internet saw as this funny, relatable moment was really just the visible tip of an iceberg of very real, very private grief he'd been carrying for decades. And you see it in how he lives. Despite having earned billions, he lives pretty modestly. He's famously been spotted just riding the subway in New York. He avoids all the typical Hollywood stuff because he's learned the hard way that money and fame can't protect you from pain. He's even turned to Buddhism to help him cope with it all. And Keanu himself said it best: grief changes shape but never ends. He gets it. You don't just get over loss like that. It becomes a part of who you are. It changes you. And for him, it seems to have changed him into this person with profound empathy and a really quiet strength.
So that leaves us with this final question. Is he a hero because he somehow transformed all of that unimaginable pain into a force for good? Or is he a tragic victim of circumstance whose kindness is a byproduct of a life just defined by sorrow? Maybe the truth is he's both.